Welcome back to level 4. From level 1, 2 and 3 we had seen an introduction about Python programming. We had explored the Google Colab interface. We discussed in very detail about various data types, operators, strings, conditional statements to check validity of certain conditions. We discussed about list, tuple and dictionary, which were data types used in Python programming. Today we are going to see about a concept called as functions. Suppose there is a code segment which is repeated in many times throughout a program. Suppose you are calculating area of a circle, so that 3 or 4 lines are getting repeated in many parts of the program. It's a large program, so it is getting repeated in many parts of the program. It is not a good practice to write the same codes again and again. Programmers can use a feature called as functions. Functions can replace repeated codes or repeated statements. Rather than writing this repeated codes, we can just write a single function and we can call the function whenever it is required. So what functions does is, functions can be used to replace the repeating codes. Repeating codes can be simply replaced with a function code. You will be getting a clear idea when we will go for the lab. So two kinds of functions are there. One is built-in function and the other is user-defined functions. Built-in functions means which are already defined inside the Python. And as an example, the statement we use to print, if, int, list, str, all those things are defined inside the Python itself. That we can call as built-in functions are already defined functions in the Python language. Print is an example, if is an example, str is an example, int, if, all are examples for built-in functions in a Python. Actually there is a meaning, or there is a huge thing behind, a huge line of code behind the statement print and the statement if. So that is replaced with a function print. Built-in functions are already defined functions in the language. And coming to user-defined functions, it can be defined by the developer or by the user according to the need of the program. Let us see how a user can define function and how it works. So to define a function, we have to use a keyword def space function name. Here I am giving the function name as my function, colon, within the block, see the indentation, print hello from a function. Let us move to our lab, then you will be getting a clear idea. So what we said over here is functions are used to replace repeated codes. Whenever the need of this repeated code comes, we can just call the function. Two kinds of functions, built-in and user-defined. Built-in means it will be priorly defined, it is already defined in the Python programming language. User-defined means users can define it as per the need of the program. Let's move on to the lab session. Okay, so let us see how to define a function. I am using the keyword def, def, and giving the name of my function as my underscore function. You can give any name, no problem. This is according to your choice. You can give any names. So right now I am giving my function, and I am telling in it, see the indentation, and telling in it print hello from a function, and after that I am calling the function my underscore function. So what happens when you run this program is initially these two lines 1 and 2, these two lines are used for defining the function. So while executing, these two lines will be taken for execution, and whenever this function is called, name of the function is my function, whenever this function is called, it will go to this function and will do the task or do the statements mentioned there. So here in this program I am calling the function over here. So whenever it is called, it will find out the definition of the function. Here is the definition of the function, and it will execute the statements in it. So the statement in it is print hello function. So it prints hello from a function. Let's move to some more examples. You will be getting a clear idea whenever more and more examples are told. So I am defining a class def my function. Within brackets I am giving arguments or parameters. We will see what is the use of argument or a parameter. Just think that name is a variable name. Okay, so I am telling it as argument or parameter. So def my function name, which means this function will be handling an argument, or this function will be handling a parameter name. We will see what is the need of such a thing. And I am telling print name. So whenever this function is called, it will print name. I am telling my function within brackets ml. So what happens when this line is executed is, it will pass the string ml to this portion, this argument. So while running the program, what happens is, the first line that is getting executed is my function of ml. So this ml will replace over here, or ml will pass as the initial argument of this function. So what is print that name. So instead of name, in the first line we are replacing with ml. So it will print ml. Again another function is called Toby. So what happens is, when this function line executes, it passes the value Toby instead of name. So Tobias will be passed over here, and it will execute to just print the name Tobias. When this line executes, it pass the value Linus to the function argument. So this name will be replaced with Linus as the argument. So it will print Linus. So it is printing Linus. So here what happened is, for every function we are specifying a parameter, or we are specifying an argument with the function. The function is executing by means of some arguments. You can specify any number of arguments. Here if you see, I am telling def my function f name l name. What I mean is, first name and last name I am here indicating as variables f name and l name. So this function is accepting two, or this function is passing two parameters or two arguments, f name and l name. And while executing the function, I am telling you print the value of f name and last name. Okay, and in the program I am telling my function ml comma jacob. So whenever this function is called, the value for f name will be replaced with ml, and the value for l name will be replaced with jacob as the parameter. So it will come to the execution of the function, and it will print f name and l name. The value of f name was ml, which is printed, comma, the value of l name was jacob, which is printed. You can give default parameters. I will explain you the program, then you will understand what is the default parameter value. Here, along with the function definition, I am telling my function within brackets country is equal to Norway. I will tell what is the intention behind writing this country is equal to Norway, colon, print within double quotes I am from plus country. So it will print I am from whatever value provided over here. Right now here Norway is told, so it will print Norway. So I am telling my function of Sweden. So it will replace the entire argument in my function with Sweden. So when it is executing, it will print I am from Sweden. Then next statement was India. So it will replace, when this function is called, it will replace this parameter, this full parameter with India. So it will print I am from India. And if you see in the third line, I am just telling my function. I am not passing any arguments here. So whenever no arguments are specified, you can use like this to specify the default parameter. So here I am telling the default parameter as country is equal to Norway. What is the meaning of this statement is, if no parameters are specified with the function call. So while calling the function, I am not specifying any parameters here. So if no parameters are specified during the function call, it should be replaced with the default parameter. So I am telling the default parameter as country is equal to Norway. While calling my function, I am not passing any arguments with it. So it will replace it with the function country is equal to Norway. So it prints I am from plus country. Country means it will be replacing with Norway. Let us go for some more programs. We had done this program earlier to check whether a given number is odd or even. So let us do it by means of functions, so that you will be getting a clear idea on functions. I am defining the function def check a. Check is the name I had given for my function. Check a colon. See the spacing, and in that I am telling if a modulus 2 w equal to 0. It checks whether the value of a when it is divided by 2, whether the remainder is 0 or not. It prints, if it is 0, it prints entered number is an even number. Else print entered number is an odd number. Okay, so the function definition is over with these statements. So whenever the program is being executed, till this it will not do anything. And here I am asking b is equal to int input enter the number. This will ask the user of the program to enter the value for which whether we have to check whether it is odd or even. And I am giving check. I am calling the function check, and I am giving a value of b as the argument. So what happens when this function is called is, it will replace the value of this function with b. Instead of a, it will replace the value of b with this. So here the value, whatever the value entered by the user, so for example I am entering 4 in this line. So what happens is, it will pass the value 4 to this function as a parameter. So it checks 4 modulus 2 double equal to 0. It is true, and it prints entered number is an even number. I am just running the program. So what happens while running the program is, it will execute this function, but it will not display anything. It will be displaying these things whenever the function is called. And the first line that is to be executed to the user is b is equal to input enter the number. So it is asking me to enter a number. I am giving 5. So when I give 5 and press enter, the value assigned to b will be 5, and we are calling the function check with a parameter b. The parameter I am giving, the value I am giving to b is 5. So 5 will be passed along with the function call as a parameter. So it will move over here, check of 5. If 5 modulus 2 double equal to 0, this is false, so it will not go for this line. Else print entered number is an odd number. So it prints the entered number is an odd number. Please take care of this indentation. See, the indentation between if and else are same. See, inside the if, another double indentation is there. Here also inside the else double indentation is there. And if you see this thing, after the function definition, we should be keeping to this end. There is no indentation. After function definition, there will not be any indentation. We will be keeping it to the fully left side. Take care of this indentations. So wrong indentations may not give you the desired output. Another program is Otter's eligibility check. We had already done this program while studying the if loop. So let us do with the functions also. So I am defining a class a function eligibility, def eligibility, which takes two arguments, name, comma, age, colon. I am asking if age greater than or equal to 18, print you are eligible for voting, comma, the value for name should be printed, comma, age should also be printed. Else, if this is false, if this checking is false, print you are not eligible for voting, comma, name, value for name, comma, value for age. So this is a function definition, and after the function definition I am just telling a is equal to str input your name. So this will store the name of the user as a string to the variable a, and I am asking b is equal to int input enter your age. So it will store the age of the user to the variable b as an integer, and I am telling eligibility of a comma b. I am calling the function eligibility of a comma b. So while calling the function eligibility, I am replacing these two, name and age, with two variables a comma b. So the parameter passed to the function will be a comma b. So the value of a will be utilized here and the value of b will be utilized here. It checks whether the value with a is greater than or equal to 18. If it is true, it prints this line. If it is false, it prints this line. Let us go for an example. So while running, it is asking me to enter the name. I am putting Emil. So this value Emil will be stored with the variable a. It is asking my age and giving 17. So this value 17 will be stored to the variable b, and immediately I am calling the function eligibility of a, which means eligibility of Emil comma 17. This argument will pass the value to the function definition. It will replace the name with Emil and it will replace the age with the value 17. So first it checks if age greater than or equal to 18. This condition is wrong. I had given the value as 17, so it is wrong. It asks this is false. It will not print this line. It will go for else. Print you are not eligible for voting, comma, name. Instead of name, we had replaced it with a. So what was stored with a was Emil. So Emil will be printed, and age, instead of age we had passed the value in the variable b. So it will print 17. So while running, it gives you are not eligible for voting. Then the name and age is also mentioned, Emil space 17. Next program is perimeter of a triangle. So I am defining a function def perimeter. Name of my function is perimeter. It takes three arguments or three parameters, a, b and c, colon. P is equal to a plus b. The perimeter of the triangle is a plus b plus c, side 1 plus side 2 plus side 3, length of side 1 plus length of side 2 plus length of side 3, and I am printing perimeter of the triangle is p. Or whatever the value with p, that will be passed as the output. So the function definition is over up to here. I had just defined a function perimeter and three arguments a comma b comma c, and the operation what I had indicated to perform in the function is p is equal to a plus b plus c, and it prints the perimeter of the triangle is p. So after the function definition, I am asking So I am declaring a variable side1 is equal to int of input, enter the length of side1. So whatever the value is stored entered by the user, it will be stored to the variable side1. Then I am asking side2 and I am asking enter the length of side2. The value entered will be stored to the variable side2, and so I am declaring a variable side3 which will store the length of the side3. So let us run this program. So it is asking me enter the length of side1. I am giving as 5. Then it is asking me length of side2. I am giving it as 4, and it is asking me length of side3 and I am giving it as 6. So what happens is the value I had given is 5, 4, 6. So it is again I am calling the function perimeter side1 comma side2 comma side3 as arguments. So the value I had given for this is 5, 4 and 6 respectively. So I had called the function, so it will go for the definition of the function, and in the definition of the function I had mentioned ABC. The value of A will be replaced with 5, B will be replaced with 4 and C will be replaced with 6 respectively, and I am telling P is equal to A plus B plus C. So the value will be 5 plus 4 9 plus 6 15, and print perimeter of a triangle is P. So it prints the value of P as 15. See, perimeter of the triangle is 15. So this is the introduction to functions. You should try 2 homeworks, and this will be the homeworks for the level that you have to enter with the assessment. These 2 questions will only be the assessment in level 4. Find the area of a circle by using functions. Develop calculator using functions. Okay, so this will be 2 homeworks. You can complete it as a part of the assessment given in level 4. I will be giving options to complete. This will be the only 2 questions in the assessment of level 4. Let's explore some more things with related to functions. So we said about built-in functions, right? So there are so many built-in functions. You can get such information from the website, this website. So if you open here, you can see a list of modules and its corresponding functions. I am referring you right now to numerical and mathematical mode. This will be listing so many functions with regard to mathematical and numeric operations. Here I am directing you to, I am just going for a function called as math. It's not a function, it's a module in which so many functions related to mathematics will be defined. So this is the link where you can get so many standard libraries or standard functions in Python. This is predefined with the Python itself. So I am just going for the math function. So while going for the math function, it will show so many functions that I can do with functions. So I will just illustrate one. See, one is for finding the greatest common divisor. So what you can do is the function they had given is math.gcd of a comma b. It returns the greatest common divisors of the integer a comma b. So whatever value you provide for a and b, it will automatically calculate the common divisor, and you can use a print statement to print this. So you will see in the program. And another one is logarithmic operation, trigonometric operation. It supports many things, a variety of things are there, and I am taking you to one simple function. You can try all this. I am taking you to a default function called as square root. This math.square root is a function that we are using to find square root of any number. For here I am giving as x. Whatever the value provided for x, it will find out the square root of x. Let us see how to use these kinds of things. For importing these kinds of things, you have to import the module. Here do you remember I had taken the math module? So I have to import the module to my program. So I am using the keyword import math. So this import math keyword will import the function or will import the module math to my program. And I am telling a is equal to int of enter the number whose square root is required. And I am telling print square root of the given number is comma math dot sqrt of a. If I am giving, while entering, it will ask me to enter the value of the number whose square root is required. For example, I am entering as 9. The value 9 will be stored to the variable a. I am just printing square root of the given number is math dot sqrt of a. The value stored in a was 9. Square root of 9 is 3. It will simply print the value. As an example, here I had given the value of a as 4, and it had simply passed the value of a as 4 to the function math dot sqrt. So 4 will be given over there, and the answer will be 2. Usually there are steps to find out the square root, or you can write programs to find the square root, but it is defined, it is priorly defined in the module math, and you had imported the module math. So when you say the key sqrt, the meaning or the function that has to be called and performed is clear to the module math. Another function with related to the math, greatest common divisor. I am importing the math module, and I am telling a is equal to enter the first number, b is equal to enter the second number. So whatever values I am entering here, it will be stored respectively to the variables a and b, and I am telling greatest common divisor gcd of the given number is comma math dot gcd of a comma b. So gcd is a function that is defined in the math module, and I am just giving the values a comma b as parameters the function gcd. So while entering, I had given the first value as 485 and second value as 360. So it will pass math dot gcd of 485 comma 360 as the parameters to the function gcd, which is defined in the module math. So it will automatically find out, or the definition of the function is there, and it will execute those lines, and it will give you the answer as 5. So like this you can explore. This is the I had explored the mathematical function. So many functions are there, so many complicated, you can solve so many complicated problems, trigonometric functions, everything is defined over here. This will display you the modules, and the modules details will be over here. While clicking in a module, you can see what are the various functions defined in it. So we had gone for the math module and the functions defined inside it. So many modules are there, and so many thousands of functions are also there. Okay. One more program we will see, random number generation. So I am importing a module random. That details are available in the website I had shown. So import random, and I am telling print random dot randint rand of a comma b, a comma 0 comma 10,000. So this will create random numbers. You maybe heard about one-time passwords. This can be explored to create one-time passwords when you develop a program. So while running, what happens is every time running it will be giving different values. Now while running it had given a value 3876. Next time I am running, it gives 8012, and next time again I am running, it gives the value 4180. So like this it will give different values or random numbers on each and every execution. So the function randint of a comma b helps us, which is defined in the module random. We had just imported the module random, and we had just called the function random.randint. So randint is the function we have called. Randint, instead of a comma b, we had passed the value 0 to 10,000. So this will create random numbers in execution in between 0 to 10,000. You can give any number of value here, and you can explore this even to make OTP applications, one-time password based applications. So you should explore this one, especially you should explore this website, so where you will get a lot of default modules, and you can explore these kinds of functions. Just I'm introducing to that. And the thing is, some modules that may not be available default. So this module random was there by default, so I just imported random. Python knows about random and it imported the random. Some modules may not be defined priorly, so you have to install it before importing. So there is another website for your information. You can remove. In this website you can see so many developed releases, so many released packages, so many modules you can see. You can install these packages, or you can call these packages also into your program. This may not be by default defined to your Python, so you have to install this. For example, I am going for there is a module called as Wikipedia. This Wikipedia is actually not by default known to Python, so you have to install it. So the syntax to install is !pip space install space the module you want to install. So I had just specified !pip space install space Wikipedia, and I'm just running the program. So while running, what it happens is it will install the module Wikipedia. This module was not a predefined module. Now this module is getting installed. Step by step this module will be getting automatically installed to my program. Now Wikipedia class, the module Wikipedia is installed to my program, and in another code box I am telling import Wikipedia. So now you can call import Wikipedia because the class Wikipedia is installed, or the module Wikipedia is installed to my program, and I am telling import Wikipedia. So as it is installed now, Python can understand that there is a module called as Wikipedia, and that can be imported also. And I am telling x is equal to input, enter your keyword, and telling print Wikipedia dot summary of x comma sentences is equal to 2. This function summary is defined in the module Wikipedia. Summary of x means the element that you are going to search. So whatever the keyword you are entering, that will be stored to the variable x. So x comma sentences is equal to 2. So usually when you search in Wikipedia, you will be getting so many information. So in this program, I just want to see the first 2 sentences in Wikipedia about the searching I had given. So let's just see an example. I am just running the program. So while running the program, it will import Wikipedia. As the module is installed, Python knows how to import Wikipedia, so it will import Wikipedia. It is asking me to enter the keyword. I am entering the keyword as our Honorable CM's name, Pinarayi Vijayan, and I am just pressing the enter button. So what happens is, what I had given as the value of x is Pinarayi Vijayan, so it will go for Wikipedia dot summary. The function summary will be called. In that, as an argument, instead of x, the value I had given Pinarayi Vijayan will be passed, comma sentence is equal to 2. It will show maximum 2 sentences. So I had given Pinarayi Vijayan, and the output is like Pinarayi Vijayan, born May 1944 in Pinarayi, is an Indian politician who is the current Chief Minister of Kerala, serving since 25th May 2016. That is the first line. Second line, a member of the Bureau of the Communist Party of India. He was long serving Secretary of the Kerala State Committee of CPIM from 1998 to 2015. 2 sentences, total 2 sentences. One full stop is here, that is 1 sentence, and another full stop is here, that is the second sentence. So it was displaying 2 sentences from Wikipedia. So like this, so many packages you can refer here, so many modules you can refer over here. Even you can step into data science or machine learning concepts by means of the so many packages that supports machine learning or data science. Even artificial intelligence based things will be over here. You can install that, collect the name of the package, and you can see what are the functions defined inside the package, and you can simply install by using the syntax !pip space install space Wikipedia, and then you can import the module to your program and do all the functions. You will be able to do all the functions defined in the class Wikipedia. The last thing in level 4 is class. So we had seen how we had avoided repeated codes by means of functions. We had seen how to call a function, how to pass arguments to function. And now coming to class, programmers can keep classes to keep related things together. For example, I had defined a function to calculate area in one place, area of a circle in one place. Then in some other place I had defined a function to calculate area of a square. In some other place I had called a function to define area of a rectangle. So it is happening in different places, but functionality is same. Both are calculating area. So what I could say is we can keep these three related things. They are related that they are calculating an area, so we can keep together by means of the concept called as class. Classes helps the programmer to keep data and the functionality together. You will get an idea when we will go for the lab sessions. To define a class, we use the keyword class space class name colon. That is the syntax we use to define a class. And one more time, object. You will get an idea when we will say the lab session. Object is an instance of a class. For that, we will be using the help of object to access the variables and functions defined in the class. And just telling, object is an instance of a class which we use to access the functions or even the data defined inside the class. We will just move on to the lab session. There you will get an idea what is an object. So classes is a capacity to keep similar functionality and its data together. Let us move on to our lab session. So I am telling, this is an introduction to the class. I am telling a is equal to 5 and I am just print type of a. So what the function type will give is what kind of data it is. I am just running. We already know it is it's an integer data. It prints class int. That means a is lying to a class called as int, or otherwise we can say a is an object of the class int. Without knowing this, we were using it throughout the program from the beginning, right? So when I give a is equal to 5, what the Python understands it is a member of the class int, or it is a object of the class int. Whenever you call the variable a in your program, you are actually by using object of the class int. This is by default in Python. Let us see how the programmers can use the concept of class to keep related data together. So we'll see an easier program first. The keyword to define class is class, and I'm telling person colon. Person is the name of the class. Inside the class I am defining a function def display, within brackets I am giving self as a parameter. I am giving self here. In almost all programs we have to give self because for the access to objects. So you will be able to access this class inside this function inside the class by means of objects only. So for that I have to give self. Along with that, if needed, you can pass parameters also. You can put comma and pass the parameter. Here I don't have any parameter, so I am just telling self colon print hello from the class. So for accessing this function, I need an object. I said object is an instance of the class. Here in the previous example, you are dealing with A because A was an object of the class int. Similarly, to access the class here, you need an object. Creation of object is very simple. I am just giving an object name obj. You can give any name, see obj1 or whatever you want to give, you can give. Obj is equal to name of the class. Name of the class is person and bracket open close. So the statement obj or even whatever the name variable name you want to give, that you can give, is equal to name of the class bracket open close. So what happened in this line is I had created an object named obj for the class person. Then by means of this object obj, so I had created a object for the class person, that is obj. You can give any name for instead of obj. With this object you can access anything, any data or function in the class. So I am telling obj dot display. So display is a clause, display is a function that is defined inside the class person. Obj is an object of the class person. So when I say obj dot display, it will go to the class person and it will go to the function display, which is defined inside the class. So it will go to display, so it will execute the line and like hello from class. When I run this program, what happens is initially it creates an object, that is obj. You can give any name for the class person. For creating it, I had given object name is equal to name of the class bracket open close. With that object name dot the function inside the class. Like usually I can access anything, any variable or any functions inside the class. With this program, the next program, you will be getting a clear idea on class. I am going to calculate the area of a circle and the area of a square. Usually with the concept of level 2, what you will be doing, you will be putting like a is equal to enter the value of radius. Then you will put the area is equal to 3.14 into radius. Then you will print area of the circle is this, and you will tell enter the side of the square. Then you will tell the area is area of the square is side into side. Then you will print it. Likewise you will be doing, but these related functions can be grouped together. See here, I am going to calculate the area of a circle and square. These are related things, so I can group it together. Let us see. I am defining a class area. Name of the class is area colon. Inside that I am defining a function def circle self comma r. That means it will pass the self is used for relating to the object or accessing with the object. It will pass the value of r to the function. So this is a function. A is equal to 3.14 into the value received into the value received, and just print the area of the circle is A. So this is the function for calculating area of the circle, and I am writing the function for calculating area of the square. I am telling def square, which is name of the function, self comma r. You can use any variables over here, and I am telling area is equal to r into r. So the value passed for r, the argument passed instead of r will be replaced here, and it will be multiplied. So it prints area of the square is a. The value computed at the variable a will be displayed. So I said the class definition is over. Name of the class is area. It is having two functions, circle and square, which is used to calculate area of the circle as well as area of the square. For accessing anything that is defined inside the class, we need an object for the class area. So for creating an object for the class area, I am telling here obj is equal to area bracket open close. So it creates an object named obj. You can create any name, a, b, c, d, whatever you want to give, you can give, is equal to area. So I had created an object to the class area and its name is obj. So right now obj is the object of the class area. By means of this object obj, I can access anything inside the class. Okay, so I am just telling b is equal to int of input, enter the value of a radius. Say I had entered 6 as the value. So what happens is I have to pass the value to the function circle so that the area will be, area of circle will be calculated and it will be printed. So for calling this function which is defined in the class area, I need the object. So object was obj. So I am just telling obj dot circle of b. So the value stored in this line, the value stored to the variable b will be passed as an array, will be passed as an argument to the function circle, and we are accessing this function which is defined in the class area by using an object of the class area, that is obj dot circle of b. So here instead of r, the value of b will be passed. So I had entered the value of b as 6. So a is equal to 3.14 into the value of b was 6 into 6. So it will calculate the area of the circle and it will print the value. In the same program, I want to calculate the area of a square also. So I am telling c is equal to int of input, enter the length of the square. So function to calculate the area of the square is defined here. For accessing it, I need an object. Object is already defined. So obj dot square of c. The value stored in this line will be passed as an argument to the function square, which is in the class area. We are passing this value by means of the object dot square dot c. Object is used to get an access to this class and it will be passing the value to the function square. So instead of r, the value stored in c will be passed. Say I am giving 4. So instead of here, value of r will be substituted, that is 4 will be substituted. 4 into 4, 16, and prints area of the square is 16. See, so what I did is similar kind of functions and its associated data. So these are similar functions. Circle area used for calculating the area of the circle, and this used for calculating the area of the square. So similar functions you can group together, and its associated data also you can group together, and that is called as class. So that's all about class. So as a part of the assessment in this module, you have to go for the two homeworks given, which is to find the area of the circle by using functions, and just second one is to develop a calculator using functions. And you have to explore the inbuilt modules in Python through the link. I had provided the link. You will be, while you access this file, you will be getting the link. Inbuilt modules, you can explore it. I had just introduced you to inbuilt modules. There are thousands of inbuilt modules. You can explore it, and you should try installing a module that is not defined in Python. So this is by default is not in Wikipedia, was not defaultly installed. I had installed it by referring to this website. This also you can explore, and I had installed Wikipedia, and I had done an experiment by means of a searching exercise by means of this imported class. So this also you should make a try while going through level 4. So let this level be a stepping stone to your vision towards data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence and all. So there will be so many packages, so many modules which can help you in so many complicated operations. You can simply import those modules and you can go ahead with the functions. So that's all with level 4. Thank you for watching.